All right, I am gonna show you how to stay on track with your meal plan. We have the email with my meal plan. As you see here, I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I have Thursday and Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, and that's week 1, and then I have different things for week 2. So let's go back to this. What I like to do so that I can stay on track, a lot of times it's really easy to miss things in the meal plan, especially when something changes and the changes are subtle. So sometimes there's an ounce of cheese added or removed. There's a tablespoon of oil added or removed. Sometimes the changes are subtle. At least that's the way we like to do it. This way we don't feel like it's a huge change or a huge drop in what we're normally feeling in terms of hunger and just even in terms of change, right? We like to change a little bit at a time. And so I like to make sure that before every meal I eat, I refer back to my meal plan and I look at what that meal's supposed to be like. This way I know I'm not missing anything because the little things are actually the big things. At the end of the week, all of those tablespoons of oil add up and all of those ounces of cheese add up. And when we remove them, if they weren't there in the first place, then nothing is gonna change. And when we add them, and if we don't add them in, then when we get to the place where we're gonna remove them, then the body is not gonna respond to that either. So it's really important to be, as meticulous as we can with our on-plan meals. Of course, open meals are a different story, but when it comes to our on-plan meals, we really wanna make sure that we stay on track and that we are precise and that we are following the plan as prescribed and not really changing anything, even if it seems small or it seems insignificant, because the truth is that nothing that's on the plan is optional. Again, at least not the way that we do it. So what I like to do to make sure that I refer back to every single meal before eating it is I'll go to my email and I will select and I will copy, and then I will go to my notes and I will paste. Okay, and I will do that for all of the days. So Thursday and Friday, I will do the same here. And then Saturday and Sunday, I will do the same, 2 open meals per week. And then what I do in my notes is then I will make it to kind of format it the way that I like it. So I will click on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I will make it bold and I will underline it. And then what I also like to do is I like to make sure that I split up every meal. So meal 1 is by itself, meal 2 is by itself, because again, they all have options. Meal 3 is by itself, meal 4 is by itself, and that is how we have this first day. Now, another thing that I like to do is make sure that I make these meals also bold and italic. Just because I visually prefer it that way, I like to make sure that I have it like organized like that. And then again, I'll do the same for these days. Bold here, bold and italic. And that is meal 1, meal 2, meal 3, meal 4. I just fix the font and I just make it pretty so that when I glance at it, it's easy for me to know what it is I am doing. And then I'm gonna show you guys what I do with every meal. So like I mentioned, I do refer back to my meal plan for every single meal. Okay, we got 2 open meals per week. Let me just finish doing this. We'll go here. Oh, snap. We didn't catch that 4. Okay. So there are 2 things that I'm gonna show you that I do. This becomes my daily checklist of how to follow my plan, basically. So let's say today is Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, and I just had meal 1. What I'll do is I'll go right next to meal 1, and I will put a green check mark, okay? And then let's say it's time for meal 2, and I already had that. I read it, I picked my option, and I went ahead and put in that green check mark. Now, here's what I personally do. If I ate partially a meal, if I ate half of a meal or part of a meal, then what I do is I go next to the thing. So let's say 2 eggs and an ounce of cheese. Let's say all I had was an ounce of cheese and I haven't had the 2 eggs yet. Or I only had the 2 eggs and haven't had the ounce of cheese. I will put the check mark that is not green, that is gray. This way I know that I still need to eat the other thing. Okay, and again, I don't really recommend splitting things like that, but sometimes it happens if we're on the go. And then once I eat the remainder of that meal, then I will delete that check mark and I will go ahead and do my green check mark. Okay, this way at the end of the day, and sometimes you'll have meal 1 and meal 3 and you still haven't had meal 2 yet. But if you do it this way, not only are you making sure that every time you piece a meal together before you eat it, that it's exactly as prescribed, but you also ensure that at the end of your day, when you get to it and you look back at this list and you see where you're missing a check mark, you're also ensuring that you don't miss any meals, which is also key. Now, with that said, let's say we did our meal plan Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Let's say it's already Thursday. Then what I do is I literally will delete Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday all the way up. I will delete it and I will start on Thursday and Friday. We don't need a bunch of things written down, and we don't need a long ass list of all the things that we are not going to be doing right now. So then I start the same sequence for Thursday and Friday. And that is how I ensure that not only I stay on track and don't make any mistakes, but also that I get to the end of my day without missing anything.